here's how crazy and die-hard uh, we can see that some of the religious Trump fans are. They uh they go to the point of believing that Trump is being used by God to move troops out of Syria and or that he was appointed and pretty much that God is or that Trump is some divinely ordained being put into the US government to help fulfill God's plan and probably to move the apocalypse along.
I was asking you in the green room about your brother. We were talking about Syria and Trump and all, and you commented on it.
Yeah. I don't know, who knows what's going on over there, but I believe whether the president.
Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, you don't know. You claim others can't know or don't know. So you're just going to just make up stuff that you think you feel your audience would accept and make you sound a bit more knowledgeable. But thanks for telling everybody. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Is aware of it or not, God has placed him in office. The Bible tells us that, that he puts people in office and that God has used him.
Okay, but though, does this mean that everybody in a government office has been put there by God, or just the U.S. government? Because several nations believe that are still a bit religious that their people are put there by God, or at least a lot of the followers. You got the Vatican, you got various Islamic nations where people claim their leaders are put there by their God. So so who's right? You, them? Is it everybody? If it's everybody, then that just means that what? No one's doing anything bad because it's just fulfilling God's will.
An amazing way to stand up for life, to stand up for the nation of Israel, to appoint judges that abide by the Constitution and the rule of law. And so I voted for him in the beginning because of the alternative. I couldn't, because of the policies of the alternative, I couldn't vote for her. And then I became.
Wait, why not? She was put into her official positions by God, so that must mean she is good if she was placed there by God. Why would God put into a position of power a bad person?
Became a supporter. Now I'm almost a fan, but this last move, when he's pulled back from Syria and exposed the Kurds to Turkey, that I'm like a lot of people. What in the world is going on? But because I believe God has used him, whether he really knows it or not. I believe like King Cyrus or others in the Old Testament, Nebuchadnezzar, God uses them. And so I thought, has God caused him to go against all of his advisors, all of the military people, and done something that God wanted him to do, whether he knows it's God or not? Maybe he was just bullheaded or stubborn or somebody rubbed him wrong. But anyway, he pulled us out. And the thought occurred to me, there's a war prophesied in Ezekiel 38 that has not yet taken place. And I think some of that prophecy, I'm not a prophecy expert, but I feel like some of that chapter mixes it up with Armageddon. So there's,
You're not a prophecy expert. Why are you gonna bring it up then if you don't even know what you're talking about? Again, you don't even seem to be that much of a believer. If you don't even know your prophecies, what, you haven't learned them? You just preach a bunch of stuff but don't even read your own book?
how prophecy does. You can have a verse about this and next verse about another one, but it all seems to go together. Anyway, but there is a war that's predicted that has never happened. And when Gog, the prince of Magog, who some people believe is Putin in Russia, and they come down from the north and they align with.
Oh, Bush thought Magog was Iraq and Afghanistan, which is why he wanted us to go over there, at least from a few extremely old articles that I read a long time ago. So, where is Mog and Magog? Is it just whatever nation you want it to be?
Turkey and Syria and Russia, or Syria and Russia and the Sudan and Libya, and then they come up and they go against Israel. And the Ezekiel 38 says that God has done it because he's bringing them against Jerusalem because he's going to judge them and he's going to destroy them. And so I wondered, did God move Trump to move Americans out of the way, freeing up Russia to come down like the Bible says they will? And then a friend who's in the news business sent me a picture of our American base in northern Syria that the day after we left was filled with Russian troops. And they had
Well, yeah, that's what's gonna happen if the U.S. abandons some bases as fast as they did, but it doesn't really matter. What's done is done, and well, it's according to God's plan, so you really cannot be upset.
moved into our Russian base. They're now in northern Syria. So I'm just wondering if it's like a chessboard, and if the pieces are being moved to set up, maybe the
A chessboard, so what? You kind of feel like everything's just all one big game for God, because if it's all according to God's plan, nobody should be sent to hell over anything else. Everybody is just acting according to God's will. But that's probably not what's gonna happen in her mind.
last of the last days, but
Yes.
maybe also that Ezekiel 38 war.
See, this is something I've noticed. Like when Bush was in office, you get these extremely radical Christians that are seeking the end times. So they're doing what they can to cause what they believe will bring about the end of the world. So basically, these people are seeking the deaths of an untold number of people around the world, so that they could bring about their fantasy idea of revelations and going to heaven and stuff. It is kind of it is pretty atrocious, and these type of people should not get power. The fact that there's so many people of them that actually believe this is not good. Though it is great. There is not a large enough base to actually truly control the government, but we've gotten enough people into presidency that have a similar mindset that this kind of thing needs to happen in order to bring about revelation, fighting Mog and Magog wherever they may be.